Hello designers, welcome back to Cecelia's Design World. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to create one of these lovely cushions for yourself. This is super cute. I made one of these for a client of mine and she absolutely loved it. So I thought, why not make you guys a video and show you guys how to make one of these for yourself. Now let's get into this video, guys. Now this is one of them that I already made. Now this one is very big. I'm not gonna make the one for this video this big, and it's going to be a little bit different than this one. So this one is just one color. It's super cute and nice. This is another one that I did. This one is like a bolster. You put these ones on your bed. It's so nice and cute. But for the one that I'm gonna make for you guys in this video, I'm going to be using this fuchsia color. I don't even know what the actual color is. It's just really nice. I'm not really good with colors, guys. Anyways, the measurement for this is 13 wide and 11 inches long. So this is it. You guys are going to need to get yourself 2 pieces of that. What I did was to line my pieces. So let me give you guys an example here. So this is what the furs usually are like, these types of fur. They're very thin. So what you guys can do is just to get your measurement, cut around, and get a lining piece. This is my lining piece. And you just put it down on it and you stitch it around. I just have contrasting colors. So if you guys are going to be using a red fur, you need a red lining because these are so thin. Sometimes you can see through them and you don't want to have a different color reflecting. For this one, it's not so bad, so it won't really show. But whatever color you guys have, make sure you guys have something similar to the shade to reflect. So you can see what I did here, and this is great. So you're going to need 2 pieces of 11 by 30 of some wadding. Now I cut my wadding. I'm only doing the front and the back pieces. Remember guys, I'm joining 2 different colors for this particular cushion. So I got my wadding, and it's just because the fur is so thin, the wadding will actually just help to cushion up this a bit because I am not going to be using the this type of a filling. I'm using sponge to fill, but the thing with the shredded sponge is that it's very inconsistent. So to not have that little bulge out when you have the sponge on the inside, so you can feel all of that inconsistency, you're gonna just use the wadding, lay it on, and stitch once you have joined the pieces together. For this piece, which is going to be on the side, I'm doing a jointed cushion for this one. So this is going to be 3.5 inches wide. Now the length of this is going to be dependent on the length of this. So what you guys can do is to measure all the way around, get your measurement. You guys may add on 1/2 inch for your seam allowance, or if you guys don't want to, you can cut the exact amount, because working with fabrics like these, sometimes you end up with a little seam allowance that will be left over from the exact measurement anyways. So what I'm going to do is to go on ahead and join the pieces. So I'm going to be taking this. So just in case you're not clear on this measurement, by the way, you should work out with the 13 by 11. You add the 13 and the 11 together, you times that by 2, so you should end up with 48 inches, and that would be the length for this, by 3.5. So I'm going to start with my sewing. I'm just going to start from here. guys, so once you're done with the first stitching, so if you guys realize what I did when I was layering on this, I made sure to put this white piece at the very end, and then I did my second stitch and I made sure that the lining piece that I had stitched onto this fur, I make sure I follow the same line. So you make sure you follow the same line of the stitch that you did before when you're doing your second stitch. So that means when you turn it over, you don't see any lines at all of grinning. You don't see any of your stitching that you did when you were stitching the lining piece onto the fur. So everything should be looking like this. You're joining. When you join the sides together like this, you will lay it down flat going in one direction and you give it a back stitch, and you should have your piece looking like this. So what you're gonna do is to turn it over onto its wrong side, and you're gonna be finding one of the edge. So you just hold it like this and you make sure you straighten it up, and you're gonna be pinning just to mark where it is. Then you're gonna be placing the right side down, and you're gonna be using the edge. I'm using the sharp edge, one of the points from the sharp edge, and I'm gonna be putting it here, and this is where I'm gonna be starting this stitching. What you guys can do to make sure that you're doing the right thing, you can take your pins and you can just pin all the little edges. So as soon as you get to each of the edge, you know you're stitching right, because when you're stitching with fur, it tends to move while you're working, and that's just because fur is a bit slippery. So what you can do is to pin all of the edges so you know you are right on point when you get to each edge. Once you pin them in place, you should not have any problems while you are sewing. So I'm just going to do all of mine and show you guys. So you just fold it like that. You make sure you get the correct seam going, and you pin the edge right in place so you know you're making your stitching. So for this, just make sure you line it up like that, and you should have everything all done. When you get to about here, you're going to leave a little space so that you can push all of your stuffing on the inside. So you're going to turn it on the outside because you're going to need this little space to turn it over and also to fill in your filling that you're going to be putting. For me, okay guys, so once you're done, this is what you're going to have. So what you're going to do, you're going to be taking your wadding, you're just going to be laying it on. You use your pins, you pin that in place. You're going to be pinning all the edges in place. And you're going to be doing that to both sides. Okay, so once you have it pinned in place, you're going to get yourself a needle and a thread. So I'm just using a contrasting color so you guys can see I'm using black. So you get yourself your needle and thread, and what you're going to do is just to go on ahead and you're going to just hand stitch the wadding on to the very end. You just go in and out, in and out. So this is what it should be looking like now. Now you guys can hand stitch it or you can use the sewing machine to do it. I much prefer hand stitching it. However, once you are done with this part, you're just going to push your hand into the small opening and turn it over. Make sure you guys take out all your pins. Now you guys can see just how amazing this is looking already. This is so cute. Alrighty, so what you guys are gonna go on ahead and do is to fill it in with your shredded sponge. Okay guys, so these are the shredded sponge that I'm gonna be using. I'm just gonna be tucking everything through the little opening onto the inside of it to fill out everything. Now, if you guys want yours to be very stiff, go on ahead and do that, because once you're done, you're going to be taking your needle and thread once again, but this time when you are closing the opening, you're going to do it as neat as you can. And then what you can do is to take your seam ripper and then just pull out some other little furs to cover the closure, so you don't actually see the actual stitching that you would have done. Okay guys, so once you have closed up your seam, it should be looking like this. You're not supposed to be seeing anything. So this is what your cushion would look like at this point. Now you guys can leave it just like this because it's just cute, you know what I'm saying? So you guys can leave it just as it is, but if you guys are like me, you might want to jazz it up with some buttons for the middle section. Now I wanted to use these because they're so cute. They have like these little, it's like a little flower petal with this really cool stud in it, but it is just a little too small for this, but it's very good and elegant buttons. I'm not going to be able to use that, so I'm using these ones which are way bigger, and the fur won't just hide it like that. It will still give me the definition that I'm looking for. So what I did was to thread my needle. I'm just using the normal thread, so I doubled the thread a couple times, and I'm using a big eye needle. So what you're going to do, double your thread a couple times, not the end, and then you're just going to pass it through here and then knot it through the thread. Knot it through the thread. So you pass it through the thread, and you might want to do it another time and then just pass it through the actual thing. Just loop it through and create a knot. Then you're going to figure out where you're going to be putting this in. Find the middle and then stick your pin in. Let me show. Yeah, that seems like my middle. And then I'm going to pass it through here. That seems about the middle. No? Looks like the middle to me. Looks like the middle to me. And then I'm just going to pass it through here. And then I'm going to pull it. Pull it to create the definition that I want. I don't want it to go in too far. That seems more like it. So I pull it. I'm just going to go around it a couple of times. And then I'm going to pass this right back through. So you push the needle back into the cushion. Once you get it through the other side, what you're going to do is to take it and you wrap it around the other one as well. Now I'm just going to wrap it around until all of it is all twisted around it, and then I can just cut it off. If you guys have longer thread on yours, you can pass it through a few more times. So I cut that off and just center my cushion, and there you guys go. You have this amazing cushion that you guys can use for your centerpiece and your bed. Alrighty guys, so this is your finished product. Now make sure you guys let me know what you think about this video, and let me know if you guys want to see more of the different types of cushions that I make. I hardly post cushions. Most of the time I post like bags or stuff. But then again, I just started posting and I will be a lot more consistent with my posting, so you guys can always check back for more videos and more creative ideas that you guys can use in your home, or even if it's for a particular product that you guys want to venture into. Now, if you guys want to see more of me, make sure you guys subscribe to my other channel. It's Being Me TV. The link is in the description box. And also make sure you guys check me out on Facebook and Instagram at Cecelias Design. I'll see you guys on another video. Bye guys.